All right, so today we're diving into something I have to admit I wasn't expecting. It's all about how to use the Google Search Console API.
Sounds pretty technical, right?
Yeah, and there's even a tool mentioned. Get this, it's called Hobo.
Hobo.
Yeah, Hobo. Color me intrigued.
I have to admit, you sent this one over and I thought, okay, we're really going down the rabbit hole this time.
Right, this is niche even for us.
Totally. But that's what makes it fun. And honestly, even this small snippet our listener sent, it speaks volumes, you know?
Oh, how so?
Well, it tells me they're not content with just looking at the regular Google Search Console dashboard. They're not just checking their website traffic, you know? They want more.
They want to go deeper.
Exactly. More control, more flexibility. This is someone who wants to analyze the data behind their website's performance, and that's where the API comes in.
Okay, hold on. Back up for a second, because I feel like we need a quick tech talk glossary here.
Yeah.
When we say API, for those of us who, don't speak fluent code, what are we even talking about?
So imagine an API like a secret menu at a restaurant, right?
I like where this is going.
You don't have to just order what's on the main menu. You can request very, very specific dishes tailored just for you. So in this case, our listener wants Google Search Console data, but they want it raw, they want it customizable, not the prepackaged reports Google usually gives you.
Ah, so it's like instead of getting the pre-made burger, you want to be able to go back in the kitchen, talk to the chef. I want this kind of patty, this kind of bun.
Exactly. You want to be in control of the ingredients.
Okay, so it's about getting your hands dirty, being able to analyze the data on your own terms. But why not just hire a developer to wrangle all that data? I mean, that sounds complicated.
That is where Hobo comes in.
There it is.
From what I can gather, this tool, Hobo, it's like the translator for that API menu.
Oh, interesting.
So you don't need to be fluent in code. It helps you order the right data dishes.
Okay, so if the API is the restaurant kitchen with all the raw ingredients and possibilities, Hobo is like that experienced chef who knows exactly how to prepare it into something you can actually use.
You got it. And something tells me this chef is pretty popular.
Oh, why?
Well, our little snippet here mentions the Hobo website has, 70,000 subscribers.
Wow, 70,000. That's a lot of people wanting to go behind the counter at the Google Search Console restaurant. But why go through all this trouble? What's the big advantage of using an API with a tool like Hobo for your website data?
It unlocks a level of analysis you wouldn't have otherwise. Think about it. Imagine being able to, compare your website traffic from different search terms across months and months of data, all in a single spreadsheet. Or imagine tracking your keyword rankings, see how they change with every Google algorithm update, all automatically. That's the power of using the API directly.
Now that sounds incredibly useful for anyone who's serious about SEO. But this is where I start to get a little intimidated because the source mentions a step-by-step guide. Is this something a regular person could actually do? Or do you need to be some kind of coding wizard?
See, that's the beauty of it. You really don't. This blog post we're talking about, it's a how-to guide, right?
Right.
And one of the steps, it mentions naming your project, get this, API access.
Okay.
It seems obvious, right? Yeah, no duh.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating to me because that tiny detail tells me whoever wrote this guide, they're anticipating their audience. They know someone out there is going to be brand new to this. They're holding your hand through the process.
I see. So it's not some impossible feat of coding wizardry.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here. But let's talk practicality for a second.
Yeah.
Our listener gave us this snippet, and it mentions that Hobo website has 70,000 subscribers.
That's huge.
70,000 people.
Yeah, that tells you two things. One, there's a significant demand for this kind of data access. And two, there's a whole community of people using tools like Hobo to make sense of it all.
That's what I find so fascinating, right? We're talking about diving into the raw data of Google Search Console.
Yeah.
This isn't just, oh, let me glance at my website traffic. This is getting into the nitty-gritty of how Google sees your site.
Exactly.
Really getting in there.
And for someone who lives and breathes SEO, that is incredibly valuable. Imagine you could pinpoint exactly which keywords are driving traffic to specific pages on your site, or you could identify technical errors that are secretly hurting your rankings, things you might never catch just from those standard reports.
So it's almost like having X-ray vision into your website's performance on Google instead of just relying on a regular checkup.
100%. And that's where that deeper level of analysis comes in, right? It's not just seeing the numbers, it's understanding the why behind them.
And then having the tools to actually act on those insights. Okay, you've convinced me This API thing, it sounds like a goldmine for anyone who's serious about their website. But what about those of us who are, just dipping our toes into the SEO world? Is this level of data diving really necessary when you're first starting out? So we've been talking about this Google Search Console API, and it sounds like for website owners, there's a goldmine of data you can unlock. But for someone who's, maybe just starting to learn about SEO, is it really necessary to get this technical?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it really depends, right? If you're just starting out, honestly, the standard Google Search Console reports, they're great.
Okay.
They give you a really good overview of how your website's doing. Think of it like, a basic checkup at the doctor. It gives you a general sense of like, okay, my health is...
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm not like, deathly ill.
Right, exactly.
But maybe I could be doing better.
Exactly. But if you want to get serious about your SEO, if you want to really optimize things, then yeah, you need that in-depth analysis.
Okay.
Accessing that raw data through the API, that's like getting a full blood panel, a battery of tests. And it might feel overwhelming at first, but it can really reveal hidden issues and opportunities you might have missed.
And that's where those tools like Hobo come in.
Exactly.
Kind of make it manageable for us regular folks.
Exactly, because you don't need to be a data scientist, right? You can use these tools to help you interpret the information, make it actionable.
So it's like you don't need to be a mechanic to understand when your car needs an oil change.
100%.
Hobo and tools like it, they're like your dashboard.
Exactly.
Giving you the signals and insights without having to, rebuild the engine yourself.
Right.
This whole deep dive has really, for me, opened my eyes to the power of data.
Yeah.
Even for something as I don't want to say niche, but for something as specific as SEO, it's like we often accept the prepackaged information we're given, but there's a whole other level of insight waiting to be unlocked if we're just willing to dig a little deeper.
And that's, I think, the takeaway here. This listener's curiosity about the Google Search Console API, this Hobo tool, that's what we need more of. Don't be afraid to question, explore, see what you can uncover. Who knows? You might find a passion for data analysis you never knew you had.
And hey, if this deep dive sparked your curiosity, remember, it all started with a single blog post excerpt. What other rabbit holes are out there? Just waiting for you to take the plunge. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep diving deep.